Now, most women are the breadwinners of homes. Today, you find they cannot even help the family. So today, Agricon has decided to join FCTA to see how best we can leverage all these problems and see what we can do to bring us, to take us young ones. Vision and mission are closely knitted with those of the collaborators and look forward to the hunger issue addressed effectively today by FCTA. The youth, like I said, have taken this to the streets, and the women need to make their unquestionable role in nation. Today, we have patterned out different agencies. If you want to be an exporter, we have the agencies that can help you. We have the Nigerian Quarantine Service who are going to educate you on how best to get the certificate that can add value to your export. We have the National Seed Service who can give you the varieties of seeds of whatever you are planting. We have the Research Institute, Sumudike, who have different ways and what we call innovative agriculture, which we need to know to be able to move forward in agriculture. We have the IITA, they are researchers, they have value additions to what we have to do. And of course, all these things are going to be capacity building. Tomorrow is a day that we are going to have capacity building. Make sure you are there. You are going to learn a lot. You will leave Agricon 2021 with very sweet taste in your mouth because you will want and wish they will come again next year. But meanwhile, we really thank the Honorable Minister for making sure that we are given the opportunity to showcase what we have, to show this desire we have, to show that actually FCTA Abuja is a place to be. If you travel from outside the country and come to this place, you'll be so amazed that we have such a town. Then that means it has all it takes to take this country to the next level and make sure we ask you to join hands with us to do that. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is a progress. Staying together is a success. Please stay together with us and have a successful 2021 Agricon.
Another round of applause for Mrs. Stella Oraka. Thank you so very much now. Next, we'll be having a series of goodwill messages, and we'd like to begin with the Deputy Commissioner for Agriculture for the state of Texas, Mr. Jason Fiernejo. A round of applause as he makes his way. Let's welcome him the Nigerian way.
Well, thank you so much. I was asked this morning if I had prepared a speech, and I had, but I'm not going to give that speech because I'm here to say, from the state of Texas, I am so excited to see this many people that are this excited about agriculture. It has changed everything that I was going to even talk about when I came here today. It is so important, as I'm honored to be a guest speaker at this wonderful conference at Agricon, and as I look at the goal of ending hunger by, I think, 2030 is what was said, what a wonderful goal to talk about. But I think that there's more to this than that. Obviously, all of us that are involved in agriculture are concerned with hunger. But we also, I think that there's more to this than that. Obviously, all of us that are involved in agriculture, coming from the United States, coming from Texas, to this beautiful place, this beautiful country that you have here in Nigeria, the opportunities that exist are almost incalculable to me. I look at the opportunities that are here, and I think that, together, we could do so much to achieve this goal. So much. So I hope that you will join me in that. And I want to talk to you a little bit about Texas. I have just a few minutes here this morning, or this afternoon now, but to visit here, and then I think to talk as we're out in the hall, and I look forward to getting to know you. But I do want to explain to you a little bit about agriculture in Texas and why I think we can work together. Agriculture in Texas is a very large industry, as it is in the world. Sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we get lost in the shuffle. In agriculture, I often say, at least in the United States, maybe this is not true here, but in the United States, oftentimes we get relegated in agriculture to what I say is the back of the room, meaning we're not seen as the exciting industry as some others are. And yet, we are the driving force of all other industries. Without our industry, there is nothing else. And that is the truth. So it is so important for us to have a focus on agriculture, and for those outside of agriculture to have a focus on us. It is incredibly important. You know, agriculture in the state of Texas is about a $115 billion a year industry. It is massive. It is highly, highly important. But even though I wore my cowboy hat in here today, I'm sure you saw, people will recognize that from the state of Texas, but what they recognize more is the energy sector. And that's great. The energy sector is also needed. But we are very, very important too. And I think that that is true no matter where we go. No, I don't think. I know that that is true no matter where I go in the world. Agriculture is highly important to all people. We have a variety of different things that we raise in Texas. Cattle is number one. Cotton is number two. So of that $115 billion industry, it's about 40% cattle. So that would be roughly $400 and some million a year worth of cattle. 40 something billion dollars a year in cattle that are sold. Cotton, they raise 5 million bales of cotton. That's what they put up. Dairy is 9.6 billion pounds of milk. It's very important to us. So you might be asking, why am I here if I have all of these things that we produce in Texas? And I think the reason that I want to come and visit with you today is to talk about opportunities for actual trade. Oftentimes, when people come and they talk about trade, what they're actually talking about is, I want to sell to you. And that is true. I do want that. But I also want the true trade to happen in the state of Texas, and that is, how do we provide a system in our state to help you also sell goods to us? We are very, very very focused on two-way trade. It is highly important for all of us. So to speak, the exciting technologies that are being developed here in Nigeria, that are being developed and applied on a daily basis as you are increasing your agricultural outputs and you're looking for places to go, it is amazing to see what all is happening in this wonderful country. The opportunities that you are taking advantage of are very, very important, and you need to be commended for that. But I think as we look for opportunities in the future, yes, thank you. As we look for opportunities in the future, we need to not just rest on our laurels, we need to continue to grow those technologies. And as we discover new technologies in agriculture, be willing to apply them. That takes a lot of effort from a lot of people, including all of you that are individual farmers and ranchers out here, all of you that are processors. It also takes a commitment from investors in banks and governments to help us grow those technologies and discover new ones. So that is one thing that I really want to visit today with all of the folks that are here that are representing the different areas, not just agriculturalists, but the financiers and the government officials that are here today to talk about the importance, as we have opportunities to visit individually, on what we need to do to make sure that agriculture producers on the ground have all of the opportunities that are available and that they can take advantage of them. And I think it is so important, as we were talking, as I mentioned earlier, on how agriculture is so important. It's a growing industry. And that's a pun, I know, but it truly is a growing industry. The population of this earth is growing immensely. The population of Nigeria is growing. The population of the United States is growing. We need more and more food and more fiber just to maintain where we are. So the opportunities for people to have successful business are almost unlimited in my mind. And I look forward to visiting with you individually as we go throughout the day and tomorrow. And I thank you again for the opportunity to be here. And I look forward to working with you so that Texas and Nigeria, together as one, can work to solve this problem and work to achieve this goal. But beyond that, we can be successful in business together. So thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Like you heard, he'll be here today, tomorrow, and he's definitely available for the technical session. We'll take in quick succession about 2 minutes each. The following goodwill messages, there are about 3 of them, just the Director Generals of the following agencies of government. First, we'll start with the Nigeria Agriculture Quarantine Service, the Director General, in the person of Dr. Vincent Isegbe. He will be followed by the Director General of the Nigeria Institute of Soil Science, Professor Gukunle, and also he will be followed by the Director General of the National Agricultural Soil Seed Council, Dr. O. Ojo. So in this order, we'll have it for 2 minutes for the goodwill message. Please, we'll start with Dr. Vincent Isegbe.
Honorable Minister of State, for the FCT, our own Dr. Ramatu. It's a pleasure having you here, man. Every other protocol observed. Nigeria started with subsistence agriculture. Today we have migrated to agribusiness. That is to say, agriculture being done in a business-like manner. Today, we are talking about precision agriculture. That's to say, we are doing things with the exact precision that we want to do to get the best results so that the farmer can ride limousine, the farmer can build the best houses, and they can live well like every other booming sector of the Nigerian economy. Precision agriculture is relevant because we need to adapt to what we call technological disruption. That is to say, introduce technology in such a way that we can move from the subsistence level to the level that we should be. We should introduce design thinking, strengthen our agricultural cooperatives. That is where the strength of farmers are. All the loans and assistances that is being talked about in Nigeria, either through NISAL or the Bank of Agriculture or the CBN directly. They have about 13 to 14 financial interventions. You can hardly access it if you don't form cooperative groups. And we believe that today, if farmers have not done so, they will aggregate themselves into viable cooperatives so that they can access what the FCDA have put in place for the farmers. Of course, too, we think of value addition. Nigeria has produced a lot of commodities. There are about 10 commodities in which we're either the first, second, or third worldwide. But when it comes to earnings from export, sometimes we're not even on number 12 or 15 or 20. If we produce, we need to add value. And adding value means more money for the farmer. We know of challenges of logistics operations, yes. But again, that is something that we need to overcome to be able to get to where we want to go to. Our export should be demand-driven. If we're exporting cassava and they're asking us to produce ethanol, then we must be able to develop cassava varieties that can give us ethanol. If we're exporting milk and they want high-fat milk, we should be able to develop cow breeds that can give us high-fat milk. These are challenges that, as a nation, we must necessarily overcome to take our rightful place in the world space. The quarantine export certification value chain, we have 30 commodities under the export certification value chain, and these are commodities, both prime, conventional and non-conventional, emerging and otherwise, that we have brought to the fore to ensure that, as a country, we focus on proper agricultural export. We have some of these commodities, we are so used to it, we grew up to know them, but they have high and premium value in the international market. You'll be exposed to all of them today by the special grace of God, and you can take advantage to see how you begin to export them. This is the part of occupying our rightful place. And I want to join the FCDA with Agricon, want to join and ensure that today we make all the progress that is necessary for us. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
Please, in this order, we'd also like to invite for 2 minutes, please, Professor Gunkunle, the DG of the Nigerian Institute of Soil Science, and that will be followed by the DG, National Agricultural Seed Council, Dr. O. Ojo. So please, can we have the DG of the NISS to come forward for his goodwill message? Two minutes, please, sir. 2 minutes. And after that, we'll have the DG National Agricultural Seed Council, Dr. O. Ojo. Thank you very much, sir.
MC, there's a problem here. The DG of the Nigerian Institute of Soil Science is Professor Victor Chude, and he's the one standing here. Honorable Minister of State, FCT, I salute you, man. Distinguished members of the high table, my lords, spiritual and temporal, ladies and gentlemen, I am Victor Okechukwu Chude, the DG of the Nigeria Institute of Soil Science. I'm pleased to deliver a good message at this auspicious event, being the 2021 Agricon Conference and Expo, holding in the city of Abuja. Considering where the world is going today, amidst challenges such as the COVID-19 pandemic, environmental degradation, as well as economic and political unrest, which continues to affect food systems and food production, I congratulate the chairman of Agricon and partners of Agricon who have put this event together, who have undertaken the laudable initiative to engage high-tech agro-business establishments, professionals, consultants, scholars, and agro-strategic architects for the development of new approaches to crop improvement, value addition of staple crops, scientific techniques of improvements of farm yields, as well as exhibit modern farm technologies. This is truly commendable. The theme of this year's Agricon Expo and Conference, End Hunger Today, Build a National Resilience for Sustainable Food Security, is very apt considering the challenges faced by the average Nigerian farmer. These challenges include insecurity, vagaries of weather conditions, worsened by climate change and environmental degradation, low level of farm mechanization and production systems, low level of investment, poor harvesting and storage facilities, low access to credits, and high exposure to risks. I wish to add inefficient and ineffective soil management systems. This is the area my institute belongs. I want to say that the agricultural production gradient is skewed against the Nigerian farmer, and this should not be allowed to continue. It must stop. Therefore, it has become important for all agricultural stakeholders to come together to surmount these problems, while collectively acting to build resilience and sustainable food systems that will raise the level of agricultural production in our farming communities. This begins with being responsible and accountable stakeholders wherever we find ourselves in the value chain. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on our part, as the foremost agricultural regulatory body for soil science practitioners in Nigeria, the Nigerian Institute of Soil Science strongly aligns with the objectives of this August event holding in September, in contributing to the achievement of increased agricultural productivity, which is a precondition. Poverty, degradation of natural resources through the protection and management of soil, Nigerian soil resources in collaboration with partners within the shores of this country. In conclusion, let me reiterate that I am confident that Agricon Conference 2021 at Expo will be a huge success, considering the involvement of prominent stakeholders, such as the FCT, administration, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, the National Agricultural Seed Council, the Quarantine, the Nigeria Expo Promotion, the Nigeria Customs Service, SONITA, the National Board Safety Management Agency, the Nigerian Institute of Soil Science. I strongly believe that this conference, in addition of what I said earlier on, will generate new ideas, innovations, and strategies to address the challenges of food and nutrition security in Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. God bless us all. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Victor Okechukwu Chude. Next, to give the goodwill message, is the Director General of the National Agricultural Seed Council, Dr. O. Ojo.
The Honorable Minister of FCT, Minister of State, members of the High Table, other members of the High Chairs, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my honor and privilege to address you on this occasion put together by Agribusiness Innovation Limited, designed to mobilize a gathering of high-tech business innovation establishments, professionals, consultants, scholars, and agro-strategic architects to propagate our new approaches on crop improvement, value addition on staple foods, techniques on improvement of farm yields to improve food production, supply, and enhance business opportunities. I'm very pleased with the team you have chosen for this convergence. Indeed, we must feed our growing population. We need to build a national resilience for a sustainable food security. Over the past few years, the National Agricultural Council, an agency which I should pretend over, which is at the center of national seed sector, has been working tirelessly. We see companies, partners, donor agencies on reforms that will accelerate investments and improve institutional efficiency and effectiveness in the seed sector. To this end, a lot has been achieved and many more still need to be done. Today, the seed sector in Nigeria is witnessing transformation and innovations. A lot of innovations are being unpacked. All these are actually aimed at improving seed quality and increasing productivity. Our vision and mission aligns very well with the theme of this conference, hence our total support for this convergence. Let me congratulate Agribusiness Innovation Limited and the partners that were ingenious in putting this convergence together. Let me also invite the Honorable Minister of State and all the big guns on the high table and all of you on the high chairs to the third edition of Seed Connect Africa, which is a baby of the Seed Council, which is coming up in November, because seed is the beginning of agriculture. If there is no seed security, there cannot be food security. I want to thank you all for listening, and I wish all of us very, very fruitful deliberations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And I'd like to quickly apologize on behalf of the organizers. Just a quick typo error earlier on Professor Victor Chude. It was just a typo error, not intentional, sir. So please do forgive us for that omission. Indeed, it was just an error on our part. Just quickly move on here. Would like to have for some of the comments that will be made, and this time around we'll have the special address by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, who is being represented by Femi Olaleye. Please a round of applause to Femi Olaleye.
Honorable Minister of State, wanted to be in our midst this morning, but because of another exigent official engagement, he could not be present here. But he has sent a special address to be presented this morning, and I will present the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, special address. While I warmly recognize the gathering of eminent personalities at this august and auspicious occasion of the second Agribusiness Innovation Conference and Expo, I would like to commend the efforts of the organizers for a timely and successful conference and Expo, and to be at this event for a special address. I must say that the theme of this year's conference and Expo, focusing on building a national resilience for sustainable food security, is timely and auspicious, providing a helicopter view of topical issues at the front burner of the agricultural sector and the economy. The slogan, "End Hunger Today," is also fitting, bearing in mind the concurrence with the Sustainable Development Goal 2 on zero hunger. It is persuaded that agriculture is fast becoming the boss across trade and investment circles, particularly in the face of the perennially dwindling oil prices and devaluation, recent global economic meltdown resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic, and the attendant desires of government to diversify the economy to boost the productive and revenue base of the country, while engendering increase in food and agricultural production for local and international markets and foreign exchange earnings. The need to get everybody into agriculture has been one of the cardinals of the economic recovery and growth plan of the federal government, with emphasis on developing and boosting food production and developing an export-led economy. The diversity of our agriculture from smallholder to agribusinesses with infrastructural development is gaining high prominence. No doubt this conference and Expo will further assist to build the needed awareness and create more opportunities for greater development in these areas. Interestingly, Nigeria is among the global emerging markets, ranked as 23rd and 27th largest economy in terms of purchasing power parity and nominal GDP, respectively. Nigeria accounts for 49.5% of West African population and 20% of total population of sub-Saharan Africa, and has one of the largest youth population in the world. Its re-emergent manufacturing sector became the largest on the continent in 2013, while also producing a large proportion of goods and services for the West Africa sub-region. Nigeria has huge potential in agriculture with over 84 million hectares of arable land, of which 40% is cultivated, a population of over 200 million, making it Africa's largest market, 230 billion cubic meters of water, making it one of the richest sources of agriculture in the world. The agricultural sector currently accounts for 22% of the nation's GDP and 75% of total non-oil exports. The GDP for agriculture in Nigeria averaged US dollars 17.6 billion from 2010 to 2015, and reaching an all-time high of US dollars 23.3 billion in the first quarter of 2014. The sector is the largest employer of labor in the country. Our agenda is to guarantee the vibrancy of the sector. Agriculture must be seen as a business and a haven for investment. We are integrating food production, storage, food processing, and industrial manufacturing to establish the linkages necessary in the agricultural commodity value chain. The value chain as a development strategy considers the role of the players from food production to consumption and designed to empower the smallholder producers, ensure that processors have good quality raw materials, and the consumers accept products with satisfaction. We are engaging a renewed focus of growing the non-oil sector of the economy, which has led to the implementation of policies geared towards encouraging farmers and agribusiness investors. We have established a development framework for the agricultural sector with special strategies to build an agricultural economy capable of delivering sustained prosperity by creating domestic food security goals, generating exports, and supporting sustainable income and job growth. The Agriculture for Food and Job Plan, AFJP, is a major takeoff for the agriculture component of the Nigerian Economic Sustainability Plan, targeting smallholder farmers. It is aimed at transforming the Nigerian agriculture from its largely low-yielding and subsistence state to a high-yielding technology-based farming system. AFJP is expected to generate appropriate welfare gains consistent with the federal government economic recovery and growth plan and the green alternative. The project will mitigate the negative impact of COVID-19 on the economy and livelihoods of farmers by creating access to food and rapid emergence of competitive food production, processing, and distribution in Nigeria. Under the program, 2.4 million farmers are to be engaged to produce over 10 million metric tons of food to feed 100 million households in Nigeria. Up to 10 million jobs are to be created out of the 5 million planned beneficiary under the first phase of implementation of the AFJP. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has empowered 1,138 farmers beneficiaries across the 36 states and the FCT. We are set to implement the Green Imperative Program, planned to revolutionize agriculture in Nigeria. The program, with US dollars 1.2 billion, is a product of Nigeria-Brazil bilateral agriculture development program. It is geared towards an agricultural revolution that will strengthen food security, create massive jobs, transfer technology, revive and revigorate many assembly plants for assembly of tractors and implements, strengthen the economy, save scarce resources, mechanizes agriculture, boost manufacturing and industrialization, and lead to emergence of value-added agriculture, amongst other benefits. The program will be private sector driven, with government playing the role of guaranteed loan. Private sector operators will operate and manage all the service centers and assembly plants. The program will create about 5 million jobs and inject over US $10 billion into the economy within 10 years. We are committed to a robust and sustainable agricultural sector with a stable and viable economic climate for local and foreign investment. The federal government has deliberately designed agricultural investment incentives to support high-level private sector participation, while some of these incentives are in form of tax holiday, exemptions, and reliefs. There are many that leverage on specific government policies, performances of companies, as well as relevant international investment treaties. The implementation of the 600 billion naira agricultural financing scheme under the Agro-Processing Productivity Enhancement and Livelihood Improvement Support Project appeals. We enhance farmers' access to agricultural financing across the country. At this juncture, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to emphasize that with massive arable land across the country, including 3.14 million hectares of irrigable land, favorable weather conditions that support all year-round agricultural activities, known and mapped out soil characteristics across the country to guide crop cultivation, supportive government policy geared towards encourage research development, extension, innovative technology, mechanized farming and agribusiness, a population of over 200 million, making it Africa's largest market, and a huge demand gap between the supply of agricultural produce and agricultural activities and industrial activities. The Nigerian agricultural sector is no doubt a haven for investment. The African Continental Free Trade Area, after initiative, we also provide a quantum leap for sectorial investment growth through massive increase in the level of our agro-export. I have no doubt that this conference and Expo will provide ample ground for agricultural innovation with accompanying benefit for both public and private sector players, and overall growth and transformation in the nation's economy. On this note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for listening and wish you a resourceful and a rewarding conference and exhibition. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, just before our keynote speaker will come up, we will have two more addresses to hear, and one will be from the representative of the Permanent Secretary in the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. He is the Director, Commodities and Exports Department. Please help me welcome Suleiman Adebayo Audu.
Thank you. Standing on a system protocol, nevertheless, Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of State, distinguished stakeholders and participants, ladies and gentlemen, delivering this special address by the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Evelyn Ngige, at the opening ceremony of the second Agribusiness Innovation Conference and Expo 2021. I've been introduced, so I don't need to mention that. But suffice to mention that the Permanent Secretary will have been here, but she's on official engagement outside the country. So I have the honor, and I'm delighted to deliver this special address on her behalf. I'm honored and delighted to be invited to deliver a special address at this gathering of important stakeholders at the opening ceremony of the second Agribusiness Innovation International Conference and Expo, Agricon 2021. I'm particularly pleased to know that this event is intended to showcase the enormous potentials of Nigeria's non-health sector, especially the agribusiness sector, with each potentials of driving the country's economic diversification agenda for employment generation, wealth creation, poverty reduction, food security, among others. In this regard, I wish to commend the organizers for putting this laudable event together at such a timely and critical period when the main focus of the present administration is geared towards diversifying the economy by boosting production and export of non-oil products such as agri-commodities, solid minerals, and manufactured products for increased forest earning and the overall benefits of the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, we all are aware that Nigeria now boasts impressive economic potentials to become the hub of African trade. The nation with the largest market in West Africa of about 200 million strong population capacity, endowed with a wealth of natural resources. On 7 July 2019, Nigeria signed the agreement establishing the AFCFTA after a nationwide consultation exercise and a rigorous impact and readiness assessment. As you know, the AFCFTA agreement seeks to create a single market for trade, a made in Africa in goods and services, and free movement of persons as part of efforts to deepen economic integrations among African countries. It seeks to grow intra-African trade through liberalization of trade on 90% of tariff lines and reducing non-tariff barriers to trade. For us in Nigeria, AFCFTA complements our export diversification aspiration as it provides preferential market access for Nigerian products and services in the huge African market. It also provides a platform for African manufacturers of goods and providers of service to construct regional value chain for made-in-African goods and services as a first step towards integration into global chains. While the transformative potentials of the AFCFTA is clear, we need to address some critical internal constraints to successfully take advantage of this opportunity, such as building the capacity to produce goods and services to sufficiently high levels to unleash the benefits of economies of scale, improving price competitiveness of African products through improvement in production, trade logistics, and quality infrastructure, mitigating the threats of predatory trade practices, including smuggling, dumping, abuses of rules of origins, among others. The economy has relied heavily on importations of manufactured products, such as food, beverages, textiles and fabrics, leather and leather products, etc., running to billions of dollars annually. We have also not been able to produce quality products that meet international standards. These trends has prevented Nigerian products from competing favorably with foreign products in terms of qualities and price. Hence, the country patent for foreign acquiring foreign produced goods and services. This has also contributed to poor investment linkages, low industrial productivities, and capacity underutilization of our manufacturing sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, owing to the rather dismal scenario, it is important to emphasize the need for all stakeholders in the agri-commodity and agribusiness sector to look inward to identify innovative ways of utilizing our existing human and natural resources to tap into our vast economic potentials and to take advantage of the AFCFTA. There is the need for cooperation. There is a need for collaboration. There is a need for partnership. And of course, there is a need for synergy to enable a successful and sustainable future for Nigerian economy, and the role of the agribusiness sector cannot be overemphasized. It may interest you to note that the Central Bank of Nigeria, through its development finance initiatives, and in a bid to diversify the economy, encourages export and conserves foreign exchange reserves, has over the past few years provided interventions in key sectors of the economy. It is on record that the CBN has doled out over ₦1 trillion into the agro-allied sector over the past few years. The aim of the intervention is to, among other things, enhance food sufficiency, provide employment, reduce food import base, and arm foreign exchange through export of the anticipated value added to the net produce from the farm place. Additionally, the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment is maintaining strong synergy with CBN and relevant MDA, such as Nigerian Export Promotion Council, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Raw Material Research and Development Council, Research Institute, Federation of Agricultural Commodity Association of Nigeria, and several others, including development partners, towards ensuring that Nigerian commodities occupy a strategic position in the global trade area. To achieve this, The ministry is implementing relevant programs to ensure that producers comply with global best practices for export in terms of qualities and standard. The major obstacle preventing Nigerian exporters from having seamless export experience is the Goods Agricultural Practices gap, certification, and traceability. This will no doubt give access to local and international markets and curb the recent tide of rejection of our export at international markets. One of such programs is the Nigerian Agribusiness and Agro-Industry Development Initiative, NADI, which is focused on the promotion of agribusiness, linkages, and value addition to commodities. Distinguished stakeholders, let me use this opportunity to underscore that government is mindful of the challenges that abound, although daunting, but not insurmountable. The Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade, and Investment remains committed to developing and implementing relevant policies and programs aimed at providing an enabling environment to facilitate the competitiveness of Nigerian agri-commodities locally and internationally, and to facilitate increased investment into the agri-business sector. Without much ado, let me once again commend the organizers of this wonderful event, which in my opinion is quite apt. I'm very optimistic that this conference will not only showcase to Nigeria, but to the entire world, the agribusiness potential in Nigeria. Thank you for your kind attention, and God bless you. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you so very much for that beautifully delivered goodwill message. Without much ado, we'll be taking another address. And to do justice to this is an astute administrator. He's no other than the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, Mr. Olusade Adesola. A round of applause as he comes.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of State FCT, the Onyeze of Ebiraland, Dr. Ramatu Tijani Aliyu, the very appreciated members of the High Table, our friend and brother from the state of Texas in United States of America, who had come to help us to see the potentials of agriculture and what is capable of doing. When he spoke, I took note of the contribution of agriculture in the state of Texas as an industry of over $150 billion. You can convert this to Naira and see what it translates to in our budget. What this speaks to me is that the potential of agriculture is very mighty and awesome indeed. What are we doing? To us in the FCT, it has indeed been a good thing to partner with Agricon in hosting this expo. Why the appreciation or why the interest in agriculture? It is a well-known fact that agriculture had played a leading role in Nigeria's economy in the past, even up to the 70s before the discovery of oil in commercial quantities. The exploitation of oil marked the beginning of the decline of agriculture. But notwithstanding, statistics showed that year on year, the share of the Nigerian agriculture to GDP rose from about 17.8% in 2019-2020 to 19.1% in 2020-2021. This is significant to us. It shows that potential for agriculture, for growth in agriculture is still immense. This has a very significant implication for us in FCT. As you may wish to know, the FCT covers an area of 8,000 kilometers square. Within this 8,000 kilometers square, an area of 250 square kilometer has been earmarked as the FCC. What this means is that FCC is occupying a little percentage of the entire territory of FCT. What do we intend to do with the large expanse that remains? We look forward to a massive development of agriculture and agricultural enterprises. Yes, over the years, Nigeria had depended, it has often been touted that yes, we need to encourage the smallholders farmers to develop our food sector. But this has not really paid us enough. Why it will help to address the problem of unemployment, because a large number of people can be employed there. However, to address our critical need of ending hunger by 2030, will hardly be significantly addressed by this sector. What do we need? What is the way forward? The way forward is what is being promoted by Agricon to support the development and larger emergence of medium and large-scale farmers. And this is what we are looking forward to. In FCT, we are reforming our land use and land allocation processes to ensure that genuine farmers and people who really wanted to develop agriculture are supported. We are no longer interested in the situation of somebody keeping the land as a bank. After many years, he now comes back to the ministry, to the FCT. Please, the land you allocated to me for farming has been overtaken by development. Change the land use to estate development. That is not the purpose. Our focus is to have individuals that are ready to invest in agriculture. Under the leadership of the Honorable Minister of State, we'll be expending significant sum in development, in the implementation of the National Livestock Transformation Plan, which will see the establishment of ranches where individuals and farmers will be settled to produce animal and livestock. In preparation for that support, we have upscaled our animal veterinary services. Just last month, a medical center for veterinary services was commissioned, which was built in partnership with Alpha Zotis, a very renowned investment and developer of animal health. We are also working to improve provision of infrastructure, particularly rural infrastructure. And this year, as it is obtained in many countries, we are also working to revisit the program of farm settlement, which, if established, will bring in eggheads into the agricultural sector so that it will no longer be seen as a business for those who have no option, but those who are genuinely interested in farming. What do I say? I want to tell you that Abuja is ready for investment in agriculture. The presence and our partnership with Agricon is indeed in the right direction, and we enjoin you to support Agricon. As they requested, registered, and come to us, we are willing to support you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, sir. Your Excellency, ma'am, we have here in attendance farmers from all over Nigeria, particularly 138 farmers from Bauchi. I do crave your indulgence that let them stand for recognition. You agree with me that Her Excellency, too, is a friend of the farmers. You're all welcome. To take the keynote address is a woman of many parts. She's passionate about bringing an end to hunger, not only in the Federal Capital Territory, but also a great nation, Nigeria. No wonder she has bagged many titles, among which is the Oinze of Igbira land. Ladies and gentlemen, may I respectfully and humbly invite the Honorable Minister of State, FCT, Dr. Ramatu Tijani Aliyu, for her keynote address.